Hello, I am the one real nerd, and today I'm going to be sharing my predictions for this next weekend games. It is just packed with events. This is basically our E3 of modern. So we're gonna start off with the state of play. Now we already know the Wolverine is gonna be there. It's probably gonna be at the end, similar with what they're gonna do in the Xbox, which I'll talk then. It'll probably be 10 to 20 minutes, and I think it'll be on the longer side because this is right before Summer Game Fest big opening, so it's probably gonna be a little lighter, but I think it's still gonna have a bunch of reveals. So, the next one is that Infamous remake. So I think this game will probably have the release window of early 2027. I don't think it'll have a release date, but that's my prediction for the release timing. And it'll just be a remake. I mean, I loved Infamous Second Son. I can't wait to get any Infamous. I would love a new game, but they'll probably want to do a remake and then maybe do a new game. But they probably won't. They'll just do the remake. Either way, I like to get both the other games, and I wonder if they'll put Second Son in it to make it a sort of trilogy. Anyways, next up is the Horizon Hunters Gathering game. Now, this isn't going to be a Pokemon Pokopia situation where it looks better and better and then it releases and it turns out to be an amazing game. I think this game is going to be similar to Marathon in the sense where it's not dead on arrival. It'll probably die a year or so later. But either way, they'll just show some, I guess, fights and heroes and stuff. And I think this will release in the winter. I don't think it'll release, in Q3, and I think 2027 is too far away, in my opinion. And then the next game I think that's going to be shown is Intergalactic. It's about time we get this on the road and, actually see what this game is and build up to the release. It makes sense. It's supposed to release around mid 2027. So this would be roughly a year ahead of the release date, which makes sense to me. And considering how this is Naughty Dog's big game, their only game this generation, hopefully it comes out. I think they're gonna want to really hype it up to get it to these amazing, like Last of Us back on the PS3's levels. So they'll just show us the gameplay and some actual stuff or something, I don't know, but something that isn't just a cinematic trailer. And they'll probably just say 2027. And finally is that Media Molecule game. Now I think it's gonna be an abstract RPG. We know it's an open world foraging game, so it's probably gonna be an RPG. It's probably gonna be 3D. And I think considering how Media Molecule is, it might be abstract or do some arts and crafts styles. It's gonna it could be like Little Big Planet or Sackboy where everything is like built out of paper and something. Or they just go in the world of dreams and make a game no one wants. That's a level editor. I don't think they're doing that, but you never know. They could make another game no one wants. Anyways, finally, I think for first party we'll see Marathon and Fair Games. Sorry, Breaking. We'll get updates on those. Marathon, season 2 and peek into the future. Fair Games just show it's still there and it's now breaking. So I think that's it. There will of course be third party games, but other than the Gothic remake, I can't think of any ideas of what I think will be here because it makes a lot more sense for all of these games to come in the Summer Game Fest. So the first game I'm thinking is the Final Fantasy VII Part 3 remake Part 3. Now, this could have been in the state of play, but one, it'll technically be before the port comes out, and I think they want to get Switch and Xbox the ability to play it before they talk about the next game. And also, I mean, why wouldn't you show it off at what's the biggest event, I guess, other than Game Awards? I mean, you also have like last year, the Nintendo Direct was the only thing bigger, the Switch 2 Direct, and that's not gonna happen this year. It's not gonna get new hardware. I mean, unless the Steam machine reaches the levels, and we all know it won't. Either way, they'll just show it off, probably say 2027 or something. I think that's a proper timing for this. And I think I've put a return here just because I need a logo, but I have a feeling it's gonna be called Final Fantasy VII Reforged. Anyways, yeah, I think we'll see that Disney extraction shooter Epic Games is supposed to be working on. If it's supposed to come out in November, it's probably showing up at Summer Game Fest to try and get anybody to play the game, because we all know it's gonna be dead on arrival, unlike Marathon and Horizon. But either way, they'll just show it, they'll just scratch everyone's heads, make everyone perplexed, and no one cares. But what Epic will show is, I think, with Witcher 4. We saw that tech demo, and then we saw what was Nvidia had done show some really poor performance numbers using a 5090 at 1440p DL upscaled to 4K at like 80 FPS only for 5090 upscale. But either way, they'll just show off some of the gameplay. And when I was making this, I didn't see the Witcher 3's up expansion, but they might also show that off here and then come to Witcher 4. Then after that, we're gonna have one of the Sega Universe games. I think it's about time we get something from this thing. I mean, Super Game got cancelled, so can you show us the universe is still intact or anything? I don't know. But I think we'll also see the Star Wars Zero Company. That game we saw got rated, and it'll probably be released in late August or September. It won't want to release in October, sorry, because we already have a Star Wars game there. And then November's GTA 6, and then December's too late. And we know it's coming out this year, so my prediction is show off now, September release. Maybe late August, but more likely like early September. Then after that, I think we'll see Mega Man Duel Override. That game I think Capcom's gonna be building towards, since we've gotten past one, the Mega Man Star Force, and most of the big games they've gotten through already, which I don't know how they've been able to squash everything so tightly, so they just keep on getting banger. But they're definitely taking a cooldown now, and we have Onimusha, which I'll get to, but they'll probably want to show Mega Man Duel Override out just to show us maybe some more gameplay, levels, bosses, just some more of this game. Then after that, I think we'll finally get trailer 3 for Grand Theft Auto 6. Anyways, we know it's starting in the summer, the marketing. And Summer Game Fest, summer. And this is probably the biggest platform they can do. And to be fair, it doesn't need much marketing. It's GTA 6, but marketing can't hurt, right? Right? Anyways, they'll just show it off. Hopefully you'll be able to pre-order. Hopefully. But yeah, I'm not holding my breath now. Especially after I thought it would be in the Game Awards, and that didn't happen. So what's gonna be after? Now obviously this is probably gonna be towards the end. But then after this, what is gonna happen, I think, yeah, Dust Bloods. We'll finally see something about this game that we haven't heard anything since April of last year. Considering this is a FromSoft game, I think it makes sense to expect it here. When we were expecting FromSoft and the Game Awards, and Nintendo did technically have one of those adverts where Dust Bloods was there, Summit Prime 4, but either way, I think FromSoft will come out with Dust Bloods and just show us more of the game rather than just the cinematic. Then after that, I think there'll also be Sonic Frontiers 2 and the Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition. They need to really get this game out. Like, people have been thinking late 2026. I could see mid 2027 or even late. It was 5 years from Forces to Frontiers, but Frontiers got delayed in the pandemic and all sorts of reasons. You can say it was 5 years. And you can technically go before that. Lost World was 2013. So I think it might release this year, but it could release next year. Either way, they want to show it off, with the Definitive Edition on Switch 2 also being announced officially finally. And then finally, for my predictions from Summer Game Fest is Onimusha. Yeah, I finally got to it. They'll give the release date, no doubt, a Switch 2 version, of course. I mean, this is the same beats as Pragma at the Game Awards. My only thing is it's probably going to release either in July or August. I don't think it's going to be releasing in October, November, December. So quarter 3 is my guess for when Onimusha is gonna release. Anyways, finally we're done with Summer Game Fest, and the last thing we're gonna look at is the Xbox event. So we know there's gonna be Gears of War E there, which is gonna be similar to Wolverine, 10 to 20 minutes of its own event. But outside, what do I think is gonna come? Well, similar to the place, similar but probably less than the Sony event, the State of Play. Most of the games will be at Summer Game Fest, so they'll probably not have many. Maybe a few indie titles and show up, and one or two big games, but nothing I'm predicting. So what do I think is gonna come? Well, they'll probably want to finally show again the Halo remake. This we haven't seen since, what was it, September we saw it? Yeah, just show us what this is. Give the release date, which is probably gonna be again like Onimusha quarter 3. And I think Gears of War will also be like that. Microsoft obviously knows none of their games can hold a candle to GTA 6, so they're gonna want to get it out early. I guess Call of Duty would come out in October, but other than that, I don't think anything's gonna come in October. So they're gonna aim August and September for their for most of their releases. Then we'll also finally have some sort of date or year or anything for Clockwork Revolution. I think with this game they just need to show it. Feels like a game that's always been in development, just like all of their games. But I don't want to say that for every single thing here, but yeah, moving on, since I have no idea about this game other than it's steampunk, we'll see Fable. They might quietly delay it, like how Saros or Crimson Desert were quietly delayed. Just say, hey guys, this game's coming out 2027, no, December 2026, because we heard that they were not able to meet this deadline, which is just like, wow, how long is this taking? But I hope it does actually come out in the fall. Just please, please release a game, Xbox, that actually people care about. But hopefully this game's good. And finally, for this entire video, is the Spyro game that was leaked. I mean, I really like the Ignited trilogy, so I obviously want to see another Spyro game. And you know, we heard earlier that they were working on a Spyro game back in like 2024, so it makes sense they want to show it off now. And maybe an early 2027 I could see for this game. I don't know, but yeah. At the end of the week, of next week, I'll do another video where I'll see how many of these things actually came true. But for now, that's it. I'm the one you unload, and I have to go wait for the things to come out.